Howdy YouTube, this is Blaze BLNT with you here today. I'm going to show you all how to make the perfect spray down crosshair for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So I got this idea from Frankie E on PC in 1080p on YouTube. I'll link his video in the description below so you guys can check out the original source of all this information that you guys are about to receive. We're going to have to give him a big old thanks because that was awfully nice of him to show me how to do this. So just as a disclaimer, this crosshair is only going to help you with the vertical adjustment half of the recoil of gun. You probably know that every gun has a vertical amount that it goes up, and it also goes left and right. So you're still going to need to practice, and practice some more, and probably some more after that. But at least this will help you learn the vertical adjustment of the recoil of various guns. Now, I've only done it for the AK and the M4, just like Frankie has, but it is very possible to make it for any rifle or SMG, what have you. I would have to say it works best for, ones that have tighter horizontal patterns, just because it's already got your vertical down. So the less you have to do horizontally, the better this crosshair is going to be. So I don't know which guns exactly that would be, but feel free to check it out. I'm going to show you guys how you can make your own for any gun and just adjust the crosshair itself, the default ones that I'm going to give y'all. So maybe you can just go from there and let me know what you guys come up with. If you find any new ones, I'd love to see those, and we can share those with everyone else who's watching. We're just going to jump right into it here. I've got a couple different styles for both the M4 and the AK here. So this is the static version of the AK spray down crosshair. There's also a dynamic version that I've come up with, which is something Frankie didn't have. This is kind of what I developed on my own testing. It's really not difficult. But as you can see, it's style 5, so it doesn't spread when you're walking or jumping or moving in any fashion. It only moves when you fire your weapon. Okay, so here we go with the crosshair commands. Remember, I only have the M4A4 and the AK-47 done here for you today. But after I show you how all these work, you should be able to make a dynamic or static crosshair for the spray down of any weapon in CSGO. Although I don't know how well it would work with pistols, and you don't exactly spray with them anyways. So let's get on with it here. So first you're going to start off with binding your crosshair to a certain key, because you're going to want to be able to change it between the several crosshairs that you do make. Because, like in the middle of a game, you may have your AK-47, but you got to drop it to pick up an M4, and if you have time, you're going to be able to just quick hit your key if you have in a nice and easy location. For example, I have Z and X for mine. I have N and M, well, not in here. I have it for N and M in my Autoexec for the dynamic version, just because I'm kind of doing trials with both of them, seeing how they both work for me. So far, I find the dynamic styles kind of distracting. I don't know, but you should test them out both too, see which one's working for you. Practice up. So after you bind it to the key of your choice, oh yeah, and make sure it's not a bind that you already have set in your binds, when you go into game settings, and then you can go keyboard and mouse and check your binds. So make sure you don't select one of those keys by accident, because then it won't really work. So first things first, you're going to start with the style. That depends if you want a static or a dynamic. If you want static, you're going to put 4 in there after you type out CL underscore crosshair style and 4. Like I said, 5 for dynamic. 2 is the other crosshair style 2 is the other dynamic one, which moves when you shoot as well as when you're moving or jumping, what have you. Although I have not been able to figure out how to get that one to have the correct vertical adjustment for it. If you can figure it out, feel free to let me know. Comment below, and I'd love to be able to figure that one out. It's a huge mystery to me. Next thing we can go to is the color. This is all just preference. It's not going to affect the crosshair at all and how it works with your spray downs. 4 is blue. I know 5 is green, or 4 is light blue, heavy. And there's dark blue also. I forget which that is. Just Google it. You'll be able to see the different choices you have. You can also, besides just using because I think there's only like 0 through 5 or 0 through 6 for different colors, just standard colors, but you can also do RGB color scheme, which when I do that, I just go to CSGO crosshair generator, and you can monkey around with it in this website. Pretty useful website. Like I said, you can play with the colors and whatnot, you know, so you can get you know, an exact color that you just love, whatever you prefer. Have at it. Next up is a crosshair dot, which also doesn't affect the spray down at all. It's just if you like it there or not. I personally do not. I feel like it just blocks too much. But if you want it in there, you're going to put a 1 in there instead of 0. So you do CL underscore crosshair dot 1, and then you would have a dot in the middle of your crosshair. Next up is the size. Now this is like, I have to say, the bread and butter of the crosshair. It's going to coincide with the crosshair gap, but to explain that, it's for the AK, you are going to want a crosshair size of 25 if you have a gap of -1. Now, if you just do some simple math here, you're going to want to make sure that the total distance between, you know, these two values is 26. That's your magic number. So you could have a gap of 0 and then the size of 26. And then that would be what you need for making the appropriate vertical adjustment with the AK-47. Each gun is going to have a different value. So test it. Stick with one gap, obviously, and whichever gap you like. -1 is like they're pretty close to touching the middle end points. Are close to touching, but not quite. There's a little bit of spread there. That's why I prefer. Mess around with that. Figure out what you want. But remember to keep that magic number 26. Next up is the outline, which doesn't matter if you want it or not. If you do want it, you press 1, or you put in 1 after you type out CL underscore crosshair underscore draw outline. If you don't, put in 0. The standard thickness is 0.5, I believe. You can change the thickness. I forget the command. Just Google it, and if you want it thicker, you can. I don't believe it goes any thinner than what it already is. I just like it because it helps separate the crosshair from the rest of the game. I don't know. It's useful to me. Try it out. Lastly, oh no, not lastly, but next up we have the CL underscore crosshair alpha. Now this messes with the opacity, or how see-through your crosshair is. Now 0 would mean it's completely see-through or invisible. You won't be able to see your crosshair. You probably don't want that. That actually would affect this because you couldn't see it. 255 is the max value. That would make it so you cannot see through it at all. It is just a solid color. So figure out what you like. I like 175. I don't know, just my preference. Try different ones and find the one that works for you. Now, lastly, we have CL underscore crosshair thickness. Now, this obviously is the thickness of your crosshair. This won't affect how the crosshair works with the spray downs, so play around with it, find what you like. I like a thinner crosshair, so I went with 0.2. I believe you can adjust it by values of 0.1. Don't quote me on that. Once again, just all these commands are easily Googleable. That's all I did. So next up, we have the M4, the static M4 crosshair. So for this one, obviously you would pick your style, whatnot, all the same, but this is where it changes, is the crosshair size. This I have at 19 with a gap of -1. So the total distance there would be 20, obviously. So just keep that magic number 20, play with it a bit, figure out from what kind of gap will work for you. Next up, we have the dynamic style, which is CL underscore crosshair style 5, which is how you get that, and that's only going to move, like it'll only spread apart when you shoot. With this, there is also a command that seemed to not work for me. I don't know why, but I mean, I was still able to make the dynamic crosshair work for it, but I think it's CL underscore max split dist. Once again, Google that, but the standard value is supposedly 7, and I couldn't seem to get it off of that value even when I typed in the different values up to the max value. It didn't change anything, so I haven't included that in here. But if you're having any trouble, look into that. You shouldn't run into any trouble. But so with that being said, for the dynamic, after you set it to style 5, you're going to want to set the crosshair size to 16 if you have a gap of 0 right here. I have 0 for the dynamic. So obviously for the AK, that's a total spread of 16. So once again, keep 16 in mind and play with it until you find what works. For the dynamic M4, you're going to have a spread of 10. So just keep it 10 and you'll be alright. Lastly here, just a little bonus for y'all. I have a crosshair dot and just a standard crosshair. I mean, it's size 3, whatever gap, -1.5. I don't know. It's just a normal crosshair. It's static, doesn't move at all. But you guys can put in, like, if you already have a nice little crosshair that you do like, throw that in there as well and bind it to a key that's easy for you to reach. I personally use my standard crosshair when I pistol, just because, like I said earlier, I don't think you can really make a spray down crosshair for a pistol. I don't know why you would. I also have a dot. You can try it if you like it. Go for it. It's a little different. Not everyone knows how to make it, but pretty simple. Now that we've figured out how to make these awesome crosshairs, I will show you how to make it so they will just load up every time you launch Counter-Strike. I don't know, sometimes Counter-Strike messes up and some of your settings can get a little wonky. And you can also do like I have done here and just put it in like a Google Drive or a Microsoft Word document, save it, and then you will also have just, you can copy paste it right into your Autoexec once again, or if you decide to reinstall Counter-Strike, you can just put her on back in and you're good to go. So this is how we do it. My Autoexec will be how you get to it. How you get to where you would put your Autoexec files. You're gonna go into your where are your program files. Program files 86 is mine's in disk C. So you click on that. Then you're gonna go down to Steam. Click on that. Then you go to Steam Apps. Then click on Common and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CS:GO, CFG. And here's my Autoexec file. To make this, all you have to do is go into Notepad. Let's see, right here. You just go into Notepad, and then when you save it, you're gonna go File, Save As, and then take this off, say All Files, and call it whatever you freaking want. Honestly, I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I just do Autoexec, and then you do .cfg. I already have one, so I'm not going to do that. This is mine. I have a bunch of stuff in here. I will link you guys that as well, so you can check these out. Throw them in if you want. I got like so you can see the net graph only when you press tab for your scoreboard. Kind of useful. I like that. The way it's not always on your screen, kind of distracting a little bit. Ninja Diffuse, just a funny one. It turns on game instructor messages, so it'll tell you where the bomb is. Simple ones. I googled all these, so I mean these aren't mine. when I found them. People already have figured these out. Jump throw, extremely useful, especially if you're new to the game, which I figure some of you are that are watching this. It makes it so you throw your grenade at the max height of your jump every time. Now, just to let you know, and I'm sure if anyone does play, I know ESEA Professional League doesn't allow jump throw, but I'm betting if you're in ESEA Professional League, you're not watching this. Maybe you are, but just make sure that whatever um, site you're playing through, or if you are, that jump throw may not be allowed and you could get in trouble for it. Um, so just make sure it works in regular MM. It's it's not a cheat or anything. It just makes it so you throw consistent nades. Gun tracers, you can read into all these. I won't go into all of it. There's a bunch of different stuff. It just really helps. It sets up your config for you every time you load up CS:GO. Some things like the view model, I know I like a really far back view model. If you noticed, um, that always changes, or it did for me. So I had to set it myself in this Autoexec. You can put all these settings in this Autoexec file, just like I have. Um, Pretty easy to figure out. Like I said, just go to a notepad, copy paste them in from Google, wherever you find them. Change things up to how you like it. But right down here, you will see I have my crosshairs. So you just straight up paste them right in, however you write them up in whatever document. And make sure at the very end you write host underscore write config. This is how it will load up every time you launch CSGO. So if you can understand all that, you're going to make a pretty awesome Autoexec. And like I showed earlier, make sure you save it in the CFG folder of Counter-Strike all the way along this. Go local to C, program files, Steam, Steam apps, common, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO, CFG. Save it as all files and name it whatever the hell you want. So we are gonna jump back into the game now. Okay, so now that you've got all these commands figured out, we're gonna jump into just offline bots game. So just pick whatever side you want, and then after you've set up the NadePrac executive, which I'll link you in the description below, all you're gonna do is gonna go like this. You're gonna go like sec space NadePrac or whatever you call it. I call it NadePrac. It's easy. So you do that. You respawn a couple times, I guess. It shows you all this. Read that. Like K is to do no clip, L is to place more bots, whatnot. Check that out. So now that we've got it set up like this, we can run around freely forever. You can buy anywhere you want. Any forever. Just get all nades, whatever. It shows bullet impacts, so like that. So that's useful. Shows grenade paths. So you practice your nades. So just to prove that this crosshair works, make sure I have it on the AK one. I'll just show you what you do here. So after about the 6th bullet, at least that's what Frankie says, I'd have to say he's correct, you start pulling down and to the right, since that's how the AK works. So you just go like that, and you keep the top part of the crosshair on their head, or wherever you want to shoot them. I mean, I'd say go for the head, obviously. And then you're just gonna keep following it left and right. Every gun is different, how much and in which order it goes left to right. So like I said, use the recoil master map, figure that out, keep practicing, and you'll get it down. I obviously need more work at it. I haven't played it all today, but with more practice, you'll be able to master that, and this crosshair is just gonna help facilitate that. I figure this is just gonna be a stepping stone for most people. I mean, you're gonna use this crosshair for a while, but eventually you're just gonna get the feel of how the sprays of every gun works, or at least all the guns that you set up these crosshairs for. And then you're not gonna need it. Then you just go back to to your standard crosshair and have at it. You don't need to worry about this big bulky thing, but Maybe you'll just like it, use it forever, and that's awesome too. Whatever you do, just keep improving, keep practicing, and one day you'll make it to the top. Up next, I just have a little clip for you guys that I had recently in a matchmaking game, and I saved and recorded for you guys. Some of you may be like, "Oh my gosh, Blaze, that's not even that good." But honestly, it was a huge improvement for me. I wouldn't be able to do this play without it. I get a 3K with an M4, all in one spray down, one clip. Just roasted them. All because of this crosshair. Without it, like I didn't have it a week ago, I probably wouldn't be able to, pull that off. So it's just a perfect example of how much this crosshair can help y'all. Check it out. Oh, I think it's about time to wrap this all up. Once again, I'd like to thank Frankie on PC in 1080p for the whole idea behind this video. He's made a video, so I think y'all should check that out. I think I told you that before. But watch what he has. He's a knowledgeable dude. Good guy. Check out all his videos. I don't care. Drop him a subscribe too. But thank you for watching. If you thought this video was helpful, drop a like. And if you want to continue to see some more great content, drop a subscribe if you're willing. I try to get out new content as often as I can. I mean, I'm just a regular college kid. I got a part-time job as well, and family things to attend to all the time. So just keep watching, and I'll keep getting content out there as much as I can. So I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy gains.